Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Hope all of you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am Saima Bonna, Sector 7, EMSS, is with you to conduct a class on science from class 7. My dear students, hope you are well and you are taking proper care of your study. I hope that you will go through today's lesson. Thank you. Let's go for the class.
Welcome to our online class. Please write down the informations from the first slide in your classwork copy. Class 7, English Medium, Subject Science, Lecture number 30, Chapter number 14. Listen all, and today we will conduct the book exercise. In the previous lesson, we have studied we have completed climate change, this chapter, and all the lessons were completed. Today, we will conduct the book exercise. Dear students, in this chapter, we came to know about what is atmosphere, the different layers of atmosphere like troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, all these things. Also, we came to know that what is climate, what is weather, right? So why there are different types of seasons in our country or other countries, and also what are these seasons, what happen in these seasons. Like that way, we also came to know about the greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse? What are the greenhouse gases? All these things, right? Here, we also came to know about in the summer and also in the winter, how sun gives us the ray. What is air pressure and how it is dependent on the temperature, also we have discussed it, right? How greenhouse gases have the effect on to keep our planet warm, like also we came to know, right? So all these things were our last chapter's findings. Dear students, we will enjoy a video now.
Human activities, from pollution to overpopulation, are driving up the Earth's temperature and fundamentally changing the world around us. The main cause is a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. Gases in the atmosphere, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, let the sun's light in, but keep some of the heat from escaping, like the glass walls of a greenhouse. The more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped, strengthening the greenhouse effect and increasing the Earth's temperature. Human activities, like the burning of fossil fuels, have increased the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution. The rapid increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has warmed the planet at an alarming rate. While Earth's climate has fluctuated in the past, atmospheric carbon dioxide hasn't reached today's levels in hundreds of thousands of years. Climate change has consequences for our oceans, our weather, our food sources, and our health. Ice sheets, such as Greenland and Antarctica, are melting. The extra water that was once held in glaciers causes sea levels to rise and spills out of the oceans, flooding coastal regions. Warmer temperatures also make weather more extreme. This means not only more intense major storms, floods, and heavy snowfall, but also longer and more frequent droughts. These changes in weather pose challenges. Growing crops becomes more difficult. The areas where plants and animals can live shift, and water supplies are diminished. In addition to creating new agricultural challenges, climate change can directly affect people's physical health. In urban areas, the warmer atmosphere creates an environment that traps and increases the amount of smog. This is because smog contains ozone particles, which increase rapidly at higher temperatures. Exposure to higher levels of smog can cause health problems such as asthma, heart disease, and lung cancer. While the rapid rate of climate change is caused by humans, humans are also the ones who can combat it. If we work to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which don't produce greenhouse gas emissions, we might still be able to prevent some of the worst effects of climate change.
Dear students, we will know the today's teaching point. So, first we will discuss one creative question with answer. Then we will discuss 3 comprehensive based question with answer. Then we will know about the book exercise knowledge based question with answer. Welcome to our creative question. So, dear students, we will now know what is our today's creative question and what are the questions and also the answers. Look at here. Here it is, the STEM of today. Here there is a box and some indications like the capital G, rise in Earth's temperature, and also global warming, climate change. So the first question is, what is the name of the gases in the figure level G? So that means the question is about this part, right? Now also we will know, what do you understand by greenhouse effect? This is question number B. What do you understand by greenhouse effect? Number C, what are the reasons of increase in Earth's temperature? What are the reasons of increase in Earth's temperature? Number D, what will happen if the Earth's temperature is increasing continuously? What will happen if the Earth's temperature is increasing continuously? So we got the STEM, got the idea, and also we came to know about the questions. Now we will look for the answers, okay? Number A, what is the name of the gases in the figure labeled G? The answer is, the name of the gases in the figure labeled G is carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. So what are they? You will definitely keep remember carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. These are the name of the gases in the figure labeled G. So what we are watching, there is a tree. From this tree, the leaf, in this leaf, the photosynthesis process take place where the leaf traps sunlight and also it get water from the soil, and after that, when there is sunlight, it changes the intaking of carbon dioxide. It will have the changes with the carbon dioxide and the water. Along with these, it will generate sugar and oxygen. So what we can say, the name of the gases in the figure level G is carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. So now we will move forward to, what do you mean, do you understand by greenhouse effect? So our question is about greenhouse, right? The phenomenon of retention of heat in the greenhouse is called greenhouse effect. So there is a phenomenon or a story or a regular task of regular activities of retention of heat in the greenhouse is called greenhouse effect. The Earth is compared with a greenhouse. The Earth is surrounded by the atmosphere. Atmosphere contains carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor, which act like hydrogen greenhouse gases. So what we are watching, that there is sun, and also this is the earth surface. The earth is compared with the greenhouse. Okay, the earth is surrounded by atmosphere. Definitely we are watching what the we can watch which layers, that is basically the layers of atmosphere. Atmosphere contains carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor, which act as greenhouse gases. So atmosphere contains these carbon dioxide, right? Methane also, water vapor also, and which trap the heat. Okay, so which act like greenhouse gases. If we see another picture, it will be more than a summary. Then most of the radiation is absorbed by the earth's surface and warms it. So at the daytime, this happen. But at the night time, what happened, that infrared radiation is emitted by the earth's surface, and rest of the some of the infrared radiation passes through the atmosphere. Some is absorbed and re-emitted in all directions by greenhouse gas molecules. The effect of this is to warm the Earth's surface and the lower atmosphere. So solar radiation is reflected by the Earth's and the atmosphere. Rest of the things are kept. Okay. Now we will move forward to what are the reasons of increase in Earth's temperature. What are the reasons? What do you think? There are a lot of reasons, right? But we can remember we have to tell only the reasons which have been given in your book. So the main reason of the increasing the Earth's temperature is the increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and that is very true, a big true. Beside it, there are several reasons for increasing of Earth's temperature, which are describing below. So what we can say, that this Earth is surrounded by the atmosphere, and when the sun ray comes, the atmosphere helps us in many ways. Besides it, there are several reasons of increasing Earth's temperature, which are describing below. So now, deforestation. Deforestation is the removal of the forest or trees in order to make the land available for the other uses. Greenhouse gases trap heat and causes the temperature to increase. Okay, so greenhouse gases basically do what? It trap the heat and cause the temperature to increase. Then industrialization. After revolution in arts in different advanced countries started burning coal, petroleum, and natural gases. As a result, amount of carbon dioxide is increasing in the atmosphere. So what picture you are watching, that is basically the revolution of very beginning of the industrial era. Okay, so after this, nowadays the situation is like this. So we are suffering from these things, that industrialization after revolution in different advanced countries started burning the coal, petroleum, and natural gases, and as a result, amount of carbon dioxide is increasing in the atmosphere, right? So now, what are the reasons of the Earth's temperature? What could be another reason? Yes, that is burning of fossil fuels. Burning of fossil fuels also influences the increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That increase the Earth's temperature. Okay, so burning of fossil fuel is also very important issues. Okay, to increase the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So what we are watching a picture where there are the phenomenon of burning fossil fuels, and this is raising the amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. Greenhouse gases. Another reason is that, okay, greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor do not resist heat from the sun from coming. So heat from the sun make the earth heated. So what we can say, that the methane, carbon dioxide, and water vapor do not resist the heat from the sun from coming. Okay, so the sun rays which are coming into the earth surface, the carbon dioxide or methane or these gases cannot resist them. So heat from the sun make the earth heated. Okay, so the heat which is coming from the sun making our earth heated. What are the greenhouse gases? Carbon dioxide, yes, this one, methane also, sulfur, hexafluoride, yes, all these things are what? Nitrogen trifluoride, nitrous oxide. So all these are greenhouse gases. Now, there are some common reasons for increasing Earth's temperature. What are they? Look at the picture. The picture is very, very clear that there is methane, there is nitrogen dioxide, there is carbon dioxide, ozone gas, etc. Right? So the average temperature of the earth is increasing gradually. Yes, we know it very well. And what will happen if the earth's temperature is increasing continuously? See, this is the question of D number. So the average temperature of the earth is increasing gradually. If these continue, then different problems will occur. Some major problems are described being below. Global mean surface temperature. Look at the graph, from where it has come to up to which part. Look at here. So it will be easily, you can easily identify it, what is happening here. Now, what will happen if the Earth's temperature increasing continuously? The first point, we can say the whole climate of our Earth will change, right? The whole climate of the Earth will change. Definitely it will change. And melting of ice and polar regions and mountain peak will happen due to rising of temperature. As the temperature will rise, so like that way, the rest of the part, like the after effects will be there definitely, like melting of ice and polar regions of mountain peak will happen due to rising of temperature. Seawater is rising due to increased temperature, right? As a result, sea level is also rising. As sea water is rising, so sea level will definitely rise. What will happen? So what will happen? We are in the point 3. Rising of sea level will cause flooding in coastal regions. As a result, low-lying areas of the world, including Bangladesh, will be inundated, okay? Inundated. And rising of temperature also causes drought, excessive raining, and much more natural calamities. So first, what we have to do, we have to identify which things will be the answer. Then we will write down it one by one. Okay. So now what will happen if the Earth's temperature is increasing continuously? The 5 point is number 5. Different diseases like asthma, bronchitis, complications, and are also affecting the people due to raising of temperature. So the increasing temperature of the earth is now alarming for us. We have to take necessary steps to prevent the rising of temperature as soon as possible. Okay. Now, we will learn our new topic is 3 comprehensive based question with answer. What is atmosphere? Weather reflects short-term condition of atmosphere. So this is an atmosphere. This is the atmosphere that its condition will be the weather. Okay. Weather means the condition of atmosphere for a long period in a particular area. Weather is the day-to-day or hour-to-hour changes in the atmosphere. Temperature, pressure of air, wind direction, humidity, cloud rainfall, etc. make the weather. So what we can say, the temperature, pressure of air, wind direction, humidity, cloud rainfall, etc. also make the weather. Okay. So weather reflects short-term condition of the atmosphere. So what we can say, this is a sunny day, right? And also this is a sunny day, where this is cloudy day, this is overcast, and this is thunderstorm. Now, if we say about partly sunny, then there will be fog, sometimes there will be showers, sometimes it will be heavy rain. Then also we can say rain night, okay, partly cloudy night, etc., etc. Okay. What is the carbon cycle? Water cycle describes how water evaporates from the surface, rises into the atmosphere, cools and condenses into rain or show in clouds fall and again to the surface again. Okay, so what we can say, water cycle describes us how much water evaporates from the surface, rises into the atmosphere, cools and condenses into rain, or show in clouds and fall again to the surface again. So all living organisms need water to grow and survive, right? Like that way, natural balance is maintained between demand and supply of water through water cycle. Then water cycle regulates the temperature of the earth. It is also important for cultivation of crops, for irrigation. So all these are based on water carbon cycle. Okay. Now what is carbon cycle? Carbon cycle. We can also say that this is a plant. This is an animal which needs oxygen, but this is a plant which needs carbon dioxide. So roots will deliver the water to the rest of the roots respiration, animal respiration. For all these things, carbon dioxide is a vital issue. Root respiration, by this way, from the mineral carbon, decay organism starts, and plant also exhale the carbon dioxide, right? Write differences between weather and climate. Difference between weather and climate. Look at here, the weather and climate are given below. These are fives are the answer of what? The answer of this question. Weather reflects short-term condition of the atmosphere. Climate is average daily weather. Climate is the average daily weather for a long period of time at a certain location. Then, if we come to the second point, weather changes refer to specific instant of time, whereas the climate, it takes over a long period and for a long area. Then what is affected by climate change? Climates of certain regions are same and affected by temperature, air pressure, and moisture. Weather is affected by climate change. Weather of a nearby places may vary. Climates of certain regions are same. Whereas, example, there was rain in Faridpur, but No rain in Borishal. Climates of Bangladesh, Thailand, and India are same. Now we will learn the 15 knowledge-based question with answer. Yes, this is very interesting part. Now, 5 knowledge-based question with answer. One of them is, which layer of the atmosphere is nearly vacuum? So, nearly vacuum. What could be the answer? The answer is D, thermosphere, right? So, which layer of the temperature is nearly vacuum? Then, in case of weather and climate, weather may vary in the same day in different places of the same country. Climates of Bangladesh and West Bengal are almost the same. Factors of weather and climate and are indifferent. Which one is the following? For which one of the following is correct? Number C, 1 and 2. Okay, so now we will move forward to the second question. Look, there is Earth, S, T. These are the label names. In the T layer of the stem, there is what? Carbon, oxygen and nitrogen, carbon dioxide and dust, ozone gas or something. The answer, which one is correct? The answer B, that 1 and 3. This one is very urgent. Okay. This one is very technical answer. Now we will see if temperature increases in small S layer of the stem, air pressure will increase, air pressure will be light, air pressure will decrease, right? So these are the options. Now which one is correct? Yes, correct is 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Then, my dear students, please enjoy a video now.
This is a simple explanation of climate change based on an article in the New York Times. The average temperature on the surface of the planet has already increased 1.7 degrees Fahrenheit since 1880, which may not seem like much, but think about it this way. The heat from human emissions is roughly equal to 400,000 Hiroshima atomic bombs exploding across the planet every single day. Future generations are in big trouble, but for now, it'll gradually continue to get warmer and storms will grow more intense, with longer periods of drought in between. But longer term, if emissions continue to rise unchecked, the climate disasters will be so severe they will destabilize entire nations, send millions of refugees across borders, cause widespread extinction of most species on Earth, and melt the polar ice caps, leaving most of the world's coastal cities several feet underwater. All this could take centuries, but something like the sudden collapse of agriculture would trigger immediate chaos in society. Best case is we get our act together and begin to rapidly bring emission levels down. Meanwhile, Earth turns out to be less sensitive to greenhouse gases than we currently believe, plants and animals adapt quickly, and major technological breakthroughs help society limit emissions and adjust to climate change. But these are all the opposite of what we're actually seeing, so the only thing in our control is to limit emissions using all available tools and best behaviors currently at our disposal. Worst case, the collapse of food production causes spiraling prices, and as our capitalist utopia breaks down, billions starve as our world gets violent and messy real quick, kind of like a zombie apocalypse, but with extreme hunger spreading chaos instead, so yeah, still just like a zombie apocalypse. This would be coupled with the melting of the Antarctic ice sheet, leading to rapidly rising seas that would force us to abandon many of our greatest cities and all of the social and scientific progress that we were making within them. Adding insult to injury is the fact that many of the emissions were emitted while building these now abandoned underwater metropolises. If emissions continue unchecked, we're looking at a total rise of between 80 to 160 feet, which would occur if all the ice in the poles melted. So the oceans will rise. The real question is how fast. Scientists only have Earth's history to base their predictions on, which suggests that the rate has occasionally hit 1 foot per decade, so we'll have to adapt to an altered coastline sooner or later, but probably much sooner than later, because computer forecasts only give us a range of future possibilities. The most important evidence comes from the study of past climate conditions, which clearly show that every time the amount of carbon dioxide in the air rises, the Earth warms up, ice melts, and the ocean rises. What's important to remember here is that we are in uncharted territory. Humans are pumping carbon dioxide into the air far faster than nature ever has before us. Scientists have been publishing strong evidence that warming is making drought and heat waves more frequent, causing heavier rainstorms and more severe coastal flooding. But while the internet has made us all more aware of weather disasters in distant countries, it's hard to prove these are all directly made worse by climate change. Canada and Russia both have vast frozen lands and could see some economic benefits from a warmer climate. Putin and the Russians, and until recently Canada as well, have been reluctant to make ambitious climate commitments, but expect that to change as these countries realize they will be swamped by millions of refugees from less fortunate nations. Libertarians and other political conservatives do not like the policies proposed to fight climate change, and have chosen to try and block them by actively undermining the science. This effort has been funded by the oil and coal industry, who favor making money above all else. As more resources are devoted to solving the problem, our chances at big technological breakthroughs are improving, but we still should be spending about 3 times as much money as we currently are on these efforts, according to several in-depth reports. You can reduce your carbon footprint by doing things like plugging leaks in your home insulation, installing a smart thermostat, taking public transit, taking less airplane trips, buying an electric car, and putting solar panels on your roof. A big one is eating less meat. But what's really needed is for you to speak up and exercise your rights as a citizen, because strong, collective action through state and national policies is how we'll make the most impact. Considering that we've been ignoring scientists' warnings since the 80s to limit emissions, we're pretty late in the game. But we've finally reached a moment where nearly every country in the world agrees this is a huge problem and seem ready to commit to taking at least some kind of action. Leading corporations will continue to make bold promises to do their part, low-emission technologies will improve, and many states and cities will go much further than any goals set by their national governments. The United States, the world's biggest economy, is finally starting to move aggressively, and China, the world's largest emitter, is beginning to recognize that it needs to do the same, as many of its megacities will be underwater if the seas rise too high. But it's up to us, the ordinary citizens, to continue demanding our political leaders tackle climate change, the hardest problem that humanity has ever faced.
Dear students, it's the time of homework. Learn the RQ and do the homework. Okay, so time to say goodbye. My dear students, I hope that you will definitely show your best acts, right? That you will do the previous lesson and also you will do the ongoing lesson very properly. If you face any problem, if you can definitely ask the subject teacher. So dear students, it's time to say goodbye.
Dear students, I hope that you have enjoyed the class, and I hope that you will do preparation on these topics which are given. So for today, it is time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.